Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet! Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I've been watching some telly. I like a bit of telly. You know who else likes telly? Rusty Davies. And it very much shows how much he likes telly in the telly that he makes. He makes telly that people like. He makes telly for and by people who like telly. He just happens to be very, very, very clever and talented as well. I've been watching Nolly. It's always the way, isn't it? Whenever Rusty Davies is about to revive Doctor Who, he makes another show. Beforehand, it was Casanova. This time it's Nolly. Who knew? Who knew? So I watched it. It's 3 episodes. It's a recommend. Listen, I'll cut to the chase. It's a recommend. It's Rusty Davies. It's heartwarming. It's lovely. It's Russell T Davies. It's heartwarming, lovely. It's intelligent. It's thought-provoking. It's Russell T Davies, right? It's grown-up Russell T Davies. I hope the next time he does grown-up Russell T Davies, he does the story of John Nathan Turner, the 1980s producer of Doctor Who also got screwed over, right? After in a very similar way, right? In a very, very similar way to Nolly here, which is kind of like the plot of the series. Who will play John Nathan Turner? Matt Berry? Maybe? He could really do it. Wow. Okay. So look, Russell, I got it lined up for you. I got the idea. I got the star. You go ahead and do it. I'll expect to see it in what? Yeah, look, you're going to be busy this year. I'll wait till 2025. That'll be groovy, baby. That'll be absolutely groovy. Fine. You know what else will be groovy? Liking, sharing, and subscribing. All those things are fantastic. Thank you very much for doing that. And it is a genuine thank you. You know, I always really try and make it genuine because it is genuine. Thank you for doing that. Thank you very much. Look at the video notes. You'll find my Twitter. There's going to be a ton of content on that soon. Twitter Blue's coming, baby. Might be even here by now. I don't know when this video is going. I think I'm probably going to put this video out on Friday. Friday kind of strikes me as a review day. Something for the weekend, sir? Yes, I'll have a review of Nolly. So I recorded this. I'm recording this introduction now on February the 8th. I totally forgot to do this. This is in the afternoon. I should have done it in the morning. The actual review itself comes from my live stream the night before on Tuesday, February the 7th. So there you go. Probably going out on a Friday. That's my guess. That is my guess. Like, share, subscribe, comment. As I said, go and look in the video notes. Twitter Blue is coming. Might be here by the time that you get this. There's going to be a ton of content on there. This video, for example, will probably be on Twitter. Like, share, subscribe, comment, Twitter, Instagram, Substack, my email newsletter. Sign up for that. That is awesome. You know, it has made the lame walk. Can the lame wait? Are lame people able to walk anyway? Yes, they're not, right? It's made the lame walk, made the blind see. Okay, all those, it doesn't do any of that. It doesn't. You get an email. That's it. That's all that happens. I don't share your email address with anybody. You get an email, really. That's it. You're not gonna, maybe, look, it might be a complete coincidence, but I will take credit if that happens. If you are lame, I'm not sure what that is, but if you are lame and you sign up to my Substack and you are then subsequently able to walk pretty shortly thereafter, let me know. I'll put that in the advertising, right? Like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things are fantastic. Great! Now, let me hand over to me from last night. If you haven't seen it, it's excellent. Look, there's gonna be spoilers for the story that's like, what, how many years old now? It's from 81, 91, 2001, 2011, 2000. It's like 40-year-old. The story is 40 years old, okay? And I never watched Crossroads. I had no idea it was in it. I had no idea that Larry Grayson was such a massive Crossroads fan. Like, he loves Crossroads. He loved Nolly. I had no idea. Why they kept promoting Mark Gatiss as Larry Grayson is beyond me. Because he was in it for one scene, right? It was like one scene. He was brilliant. He embodied Larry Grayson. He was absolutely brilliant. But he was in it. It was essentially one scene, which is strange. Apparently, right? And I know nothing about Coronation Street, but Meg Mortimer, I believe, the character, when they got married, the chauffeur was Larry Grayson. So again, was he famous then? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Helena Bonham Carter as Nolly, as Noel Gordon. the problem is she's just too classically beautiful, right? That really is the problem. She's just too classically beautiful. She's got too classically, beautiful jawline, and Nolly looked like your auntie, right? She didn't look like this, like super classic beauty, right? Right? She didn't. So that's a bit confusing, right? That doesn't really work because she's just too pretty, and somebody that attractive wouldn't have been screwed over quite as much, regardless of how awful she was in episode 1. Fine. So it starts off episode 1. She is the Lord of the Manor, right? She is again. I said this when I was talking about the other day, that Rusty Davies, when he is such incredible ability of screenwriting. He can do things so deftly, so easily, with like a flick of the pen, and describe so much, so credibly. So again, I didn't know anything about Coronation Street. Starts off, they're filming, this is 75. They're filming Meg Mortimer's wedding scene, and there's tens of thousands of people outside the church, all cheering because they love her so much, right? And she's like, and so the producer is like, who is the main character, could you please just tell them to leave? He's like, it doesn't make any sense. He says, why not? He says, because your character owns a motel with 16 chalets. Why are all these people here? So I don't know. They must know that that Meg is such a wonderful person. They want to explain. Basically, she what she says goes, right? So she walks out and does the whole thing, just lapping it all up, right? And again, she's really rules the roost. Although the first scene is fantastic. You see young Nolly, right? She's being filmed by Yogi Berra. I don't know if this is true. Maybe I assume it is. She's the first woman on color TV, and he's doing a test with her. And then you do face on and says, "Hello, my name's Noel Gordon. Everybody calls me Nolly," right? And then cuts to 75, and then cuts to 81, and then I love the early 80s, late 70s grayness of it, right? They really absolutely nail it. And it just turn the colors down for everything, and then you go back to 1979. It really was like that. Everything was grayer, everything was smaller, right? Everything really everything was, like when you look back at the 60s in America and watch Mad Men, everything is very colorful. No, everything in Birmingham was gray, right? Everything was super gray. And she's going in, and you just see that she's the absolute queen of everything. Like how strongly she rules the roost, right? It's very funny. And at the same time, you have a new character who I guess isn't real, but maybe this black woman is being brought on as a kleptomaniac, I think. In Crossroads, and she was supposed to do it with a Birmingham accent, but Nolly's like, no, we prefer RP, right? And so in the read through, how she overrules the producer, and she has a chair that she sits on in the rehearsal room, and again, she is the absolute queen of everything, and she rules with an iron fist. So it's in that setting that everything comes crashing down when her agent goes to negotiate contract and really wants to have some more time off for Nolly, right? She's going to be very tough, and the agent's like, it's not going to be that. I mean, the producer's like, it's not going to be like that way. It's all good things must come to an end, right? Colin, please email me about that Captain Scarlet tomorrow. Thank you. Yes. All good things must come to an end. And this was towards the end of the episode, after setting up who she is. Also, you see you see how she's playful and how she's actually quite kind as well. Like sometimes they got to stretch out an episode. Oh, and they don't shy away from the awfulness of Crossroads. And Crossroads was absolutely awful. Who plays her best friend was in Crossroads is, who is it? Augustus Pugh as Tony Adams, who was, again, was some kind of connected to her via Crossroads. And I love it when they cut from him in real life to him as Crossroads. He's like, his face, it's like body language is different, and his like hair's different. It's hilarious, right? It's absolutely hilarious. I love that. So he's like her best friend. He lives across the street from her in locations very, very clearly the same as from Doctor Who, right? It's just exactly the same locations, right? So they hang out together, they go out window shopping together, and you get a much more feeling of it. So at the first day filming for this new character, the Black Kleptomaniac, which is whatever. They have to. It's not running long enough, right? So they do things like they have to get a phone call. And they have to like ad-lib what's on the phone, and she says, "Don't worry, Dolly will take care of it." And she picks up the phone, and the phone rings. It's again fantastic writing, fantastic directing. Right, the phone rings, and the world's shattering. Right, and that's one thing I love about this thing, which is very true about most of Rusty Davies things. It's so huge. Everything in this is so huge and so important and so trivial at the same time. At the same time, it's still Crossroads, right? Crossroads, which was awful. Well, they don't shy away from that. So the phone rings, and she picks it up and says, "It's for you," handing over to the new actress. She's like, "Oh my God." And then later she says, "Yes, you saw how scared she was." Said, "Yes," but later I told the producer how great she was. Anyway, so she gets fired, right? She gets fired towards the end of the first episode, and it's her world breaks down, right? This is like as you would expect, right? So it ends up with that famous press conference where it said, "I have been cruelly and devastating." And I remember at the time, not that, but the Acorn Antiques, which was a fake soap on the Victoria Wood comedy show, which parodied Crossroads. Parodied that whole thing, and I had no idea what they're parodying, but I remember my mother thought it was the funniest thing ever, and I had no idea why, so now I know, right? So it ends on her saying, "I've been cruelly struck down," right? So the second episode is the oh no, I think the first episode, does the first episode end? No, I think the second episode ends. No, the first episode ends. Where she basically goes to the lower producer, right, who she's made his life hell, and she begs him not to be killed, right, which he doesn't want Meg to be killed, right. So that's what takes up most of the middle story, like what's going to happen, like is she really going to be killed off? And she starts a huge publicity campaign to save her, and everybody is so in her corner, right? Everybody loves her, and everybody knows that she's been shot on. She has no idea why she's been fired, right? Everybody knows that she's been shat on basically because they could, right? Because they there was blood in the water. They were able to do it. So and she was shat on, right? So, but there's in the middle of that, when she's really at her lowest ebb, when she gets her script for the last episode, she goes to see Larry Grayson, played by Mark Gatiss, who basically cleans her off and reinvigorates her, right? To gives her the push she needs, right? To go off and do new things and be the insanely strong, brave person that she clearly was, right? The wonderful person who was clearly terrified, right? Again, I love the way Rusty Davies is able to take you inside a character, right? And do it so playfully, right? I think that's what it is. I just get a feeling Rusty Davies is a very playful person, right? So at the end, he says, it's Larry Grayson. He's saying, "Yeah, are you going to start over for this?" And she says, "You just watch me," right? So the third episode is about filming the final episode, which is just ridiculous beyond ridiculous. I love all the drama. Like they after filming something like a final thing. Before going on location for the final shoot, they take the whole set of Crossroads down. They're like, "Oh my God!" and they're using it to burn it down. They're having the motel burned down on bonfire night, right? And you don't know if she's alive or dead.
Basically, she leaves on the QE2, which I think she ends up working with Larry Grayson on the QE2, right? So it must be some kind of, I don't know. I looked on YouTube to find the clip of it actually happening. I couldn't find it, but whatever. I have no idea if it's real or not. It's really genuinely funny, right? It's really genuinely funny and heartwarming. Her friendship with who is it? Is it Tony Howe? Tony Adams is lovely throughout, and yeah, as she's finishing, people are just so appreciative to her, right? She was a bitch that ruled everything with an iron hand, but she was also there for everybody as well, and that really came out, right? That really absolutely came out. So then she starts forging a new life for herself. She makes she goes on theater. She has a very difficult role playing Rose. She doesn't know she can do it, and again, it's Tony Adams who inspires her. You can just stop whining. You can do it, and she does. She does it, and it's so exhilarating that she does. Right, but then it doesn't get the goal that she wanted. It doesn't get taken to London because it's a contractual thing. It's not about her, but she takes it. But then she goes and has lunch with the producer again. After finding out she was doing dinner theater somewhere, essentially for like very, very rich people in like Abu Dhabi, I think. So in somewhere, some very rich place like that, making a fair amount of money there. And while she was there, she found out through a conversation why she was fired. She had no idea. And essentially, it was the lower producer had just complained about her, and the new boss came in, and he listened to him. He didn't expect anybody to listen to him. They have this conversation, and then they listened to me, and they fired you. I didn't expect that to happen either, right? So basically, they're asking her to come back, right? Asking her to come back, which she kind of does, right? Again, I love the character, right? I love the. Here's a mistake of writing people with kid gloves. Like, I can't show this person being negative because I love the vanity of Nolly as presented by Rusty Davies. It's just so lovely, right? It's so absolutely lovely, and so I found it very fun. And then it's very tragic as well as she ends up growing old, and she passes away in 85. And she's alone, and she explains why she doesn't have a husband, why what happened with her life, and it's there's a couple of great scenes, right? When they have finally left those planes, she goes on a bus ride, and there's one snotty guy who's in there. Soaps don't really matter, right? And she puts him in his place. And I think I think Rusty Davies. I love Rusty Davies when he's having a moan, where he's being moral, where he's having a stomp, right? I love him when he's doing that, right? Because he's very good at doing that. To be fair, he is. He's excellent at doing that, and I think he's. Listen, while I think women are perhaps the most privileged and protected people in the universe, women in the Western civilization, as I'll say, are the most protected and privileged class in history of our planet. Don't be wrong. In the 70s, wasn't the case, right? And chauvinism is a thing. I agree with you there, but it was a fun moment that he had, and she was screwed over essentially because she was a woman, because women didn't matter, right? And that was a very strong theme of it. I didn't find it woke at all. I found it like a wonderful story with wonderful characters who I wanted to spend more time with. Tragically, I couldn't. I wanted to go and watch Crossroads off. I wanted to see what this thing was they made, right? And it's so awful when they show it to you. There's a scene at the end of the first episode when she's been fired. And you see the actors arguing with each other on set as if it's a soap opera, and it's really wonderful, right? It's really absolutely wonderful. I very much enjoyed it. So look, for me, obviously, it's a recommend. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.